Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
I'm clouding recording. Yeah, so I was just looking over my call sheet for tomorrow.
Yeah? Here, let's take a look. Let me see here, because I can look at your schedule tomorrow.
Oh, you can't see it on my schedule because I just got the email and I haven't loaded it in there, but I'll share my screen with you. And that way, all of our community members that are listening in where is it, YouTube? I haven't seen it at all. Where are these live episodes being showed?
Hang on, what the hell's going on with my internet? My internet connection sucks right now. Anyway, that's okay. Shine X Gossip Girl Lookbook.
Okay, so
get out of town.
So it's not Shine, it's actually Shein, and it's a fast fashion company. Have you ever heard of? Yeah, okay, you've heard of Shein. A lot of people haven't. A lot of people our age have not. Everybody that's young have definitely heard of Shein. So I got mixed up with them. I got hired by them maybe a year or two ago for a Mustang shoot, and then they've just been calling me directly for anything after that. And they use a whole bunch of different. They use a lot of my trucks. They've used the Mustang. And last time they called me, they said, "Hey, do you have like a Jeep Wagoneer from like the 1980s?" And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of random." And no, I don't, but I can go on the lookout for you and find one. And so I went to all of my resources, whether it's through the DriveShare or Turo or any of the different sites, and I found one. Somebody was selling one on Facebook Marketplace, and they were asking way too much money for it. So I knew there was no way that if I booked it like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, it was going to get sold.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, I like this one," and I sent it to the folks at Shein, and they're like, "Oh, we love that one," because it was in really good shape.
Okay.
So I hired the woman that was the owner, and we negotiated a deal, and I brokered the deal, and everybody knew I was brokering it. The car owner knew, Shein knew. They just didn't want to have to do, they're doing a million other things with these models. They don't want to deal with
that shit. Sure.
So let me deal with the shit. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like their go-to guy when it comes to all things automobile, or at least I have been the last couple. So tomorrow's shoot is with a 2000, and I think they ended up settling on a 2014 S-Class Mercedes that I sourced for them, and the car is in like ridiculously good shape. Black Mercedes. They want to use it as like a look-alike limousine because the S-Classes are really big Mercedes. Okay. So tomorrow's their lookbook, which means they have a whole bunch of. Usually it's just one model, but tomorrow we have 4 models that we're doing. So here are the 4 models. Let me show you who they are. So we got Emma. That's model number 1. You can see
Emma looks like she's about 12 though. Jeez, that's weird.
Let's see how old she is. Let's go to her page. Hold on a second. Emma is I don't think it says her age, but she doesn't look quite 12.
She doesn't look quite as young there, but wow, she's just okay.
But great photos. Okay, so that's Emma. We're also working with Hayden tomorrow. She started at 14. Wow. Okay, so she started at a young age. That's pretty cool. Hayden's in one of the shoots tomorrow. Here's some shots of
Hayden. Is quite easy on the eyes. For those of you who are just listening and not watching, you can go to YouTube. In fact, because we're recording this on Tuesday, I might actually post it early, so you could be watching before Friday. Now, I guess if you're listening now and it's Friday, it's too fucking late. I'll do something.
All right, so that's Hayden, and then we have Taylor. And Taylor, very similar. They all look very young, but then again, you and I are very old. So
true. Yeah, they all look fucking young to me.
Okay, so then we have Taylor, and then we have, of course, there's got to be a guy in the shoot also. I don't know if he's playing the limo driver or if he's the guy that's like the beef guy. What's it called? Beefcake.
Beefcake. Yeah, the beefcake.
Or just like the real good looking male guy. So, and he is a really good looking.
He is a good looking guy, and kind of a unique look. He's sort of international looking. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm excited to be able to work with all four. Every model, you know how sometimes you can feel like you go to these shoots and like you're going to deal with like this stuck-up model or something.
Yeah.
None of these models have been this way.
Really?
They've all been super nice. They've been all like, hey, let me grab the camera. You know, they're helping like with like lunch setup. You know, they're just really, really nice people. So I've had a chance to work with some great folks. So
you are just the broker. You're not even driving the car or dealing with any of that, but you get to go to the shoot because you're the guy that put it all together.
All right. So interestingly enough, yes, on this particular shoot, here's what happened. I brokered the same way that I did the first one, which was through Marketplace and found the ideal car. I did broker the car. I sold the idea of the car to the producer for the event. And then the guy sold the car.
Oh shit.
So he called me, he said, hey, I can't show up. So I'm never going, I'm not going to, it's like, are you ever going to call your client and say, hey, sorry, it fell through, can't help you? No, you're going to make it fucking work no matter what.
Exactly.
So tomorrow I'm taking it on the chin. I'm not making quite as much money as I would normally make on a job, but because I had to source it somewhere else and I paid a little extra for it, and I don't have a driver for the car. So I have to go down to Los Angeles and be the driver.
Now, where is the shoot?
It seems like, I don't know the exact place, but I think it's North LA. So it's about.
Oh, okay. So you got to go to LA to pick up the car, but the shoot is in LA.
Correct. The shoot is very close to. Oh yeah, I made the arrangement to find a car that was within a half hour of, which in LA means it's about a mile away.
Oh, nice.
So something like that. So I'm handling that tomorrow. That's going to be fun. So you did notice on the Turnkey schedule that I will be at a photo shoot the entire day. That's my day gig right now.
Well, I appreciate you putting that on the calendar so I could notice it, since I will be in Florida on Thursday. By the time most of you are listening to this, I will be in sunny Florida visiting with my father and mother-in-law. So
when did your dad move from Michigan to Florida?
So they, for a number of years, were snowbirds, where they would live 3 or 4 months in Florida in the winter,
right?
Because they had a house in Port Huron that was literally on Lake Huron. I mean, like, you walk out their front door and 50 yards away across the front yard, you see Lake Huron.
And in the wintertime, it would take you 3 hours to get to the lake because it was all frozen solid.
Yeah, it was so fucking cold. So they would rent a place in Florida for 3 months out of the year and live down there. And then they're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's too goddamn cold up here. We're just going to move to Florida. That was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Oh, so it's been a while. So your dad has been long retired, correct?
Yeah. He is, geez, let me think about this.
He's in his 80s. He's got to be in his 80s.
Yeah. He's like 86, I think now. Yeah.
And he's been married to, is it Carolyn? I can't remember.
Carolyn for
a long time. Ever since I was with the agency, because I met her through the agency.
Years, yeah. 25 years or something. Yep.
And was that your dad's last job at Washington Talent?
No, he worked at Ace Hardware for a while, just because he liked it. He liked
dream job,
right? That's what he thought too. He's like, I just go in and kind of help people, and do some stocking and shit, and I get a great discount on tools. Like, that's what he thought.
That's a good point of conversation right there. If money was of no object, so you didn't need the money, and you didn't care about whether you worked a little or a lot, obviously you don't want to overwork in retirement age. Like, what would you see yourself doing? Would you like work sound for a band, and and as long as you don't have to lift any of the equipment, or what would you do, you think?
That's the hard part, is when you're a sound guy, typically I can't think of a sound gig that doesn't come with hauling the gear too. Like, unless you're touring with a band, in which case you're doing most of the physical work of getting everything going, and you maybe don't have to haul shit. But other than that,
if you're in residence though, like in a place in Las Vegas, you live in Las Vegas, and you're literally walking in, turning the on switch on, the button on, and then you're just doing the programming of the lights or the sound or whatever you're doing.
That would be pretty cool, especially with the gear that's out now. Like the sound gear today, it's just the fucking coolest, most ridiculous stuff. There's so much really great, cool stuff you can do. Like most sound guys are just walking around with an iPad now and doing sound from an iPad.
When I did my gig for Bonnie Foster Productions, when I did that DJ gig and the band was there, the sound guy had an iPad. And that's all he was doing, is he was just walking around with the iPad, and he was doing sound. And I think he was doing on the same iPad, I think he was doing lighting also.
You could do that. Yeah, absolutely.
But that seems like, but he was first in, last out. He was, and that was because it was a band that was doing setup. But like doing an in residence or a residence job, it seems like that would be the super. It's kind of like walking into a Broadway show that's been on for 10, 15, 20 years. Aren't you walking in, flipping a switch and going?
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love that if I were like doing sound at a club that had a built-in PA system, and basically the band walks in and you just throw mics up in front of them and work. That would be very fun. I would enjoy that a lot.
So there's a shop about 100 yards from my house. It's called Ojai Valley Imports, and I think about like my dream job, but just in retirement, if I didn't care about making any money and just wanted to do what I wanted to do. They have, I think, like 6 or 7 garages where they service cars, and they are always busy. Mm-hmm. I would love to do things like, I'd want to drive the courtesy car to take the customers, pick them up from home and drop them off. I'd want to just kind of be the assistant to the mechanic, not be responsible necessarily for completing the job, or if there was a job that I could do, or, hey, Doug, we got another car with, what's that thing called? Oh yeah, a carburetor. we need you to work on it. Would you be open to it? I'd love to do it. Like I had a neighbor this past weekend, and he has a 63 Falcon, which is a Ford, really old, like old school, but it was in really good shape, but he never has done any work on it. So he's like, my car, it smells like gas all the time. Can you help me? So I'm like, well, that's not good that it smells like gas. You probably have a gas leak somewhere. So let's take a look. I took off the air cleaner, which has the carburetor underneath it. And it was obvious to me that the carburetor hasn't been serviced in years because it had a drip, not like a flow, but it was just enough of a drip that it was hitting the engine, which is never good. Gasoline on a hot engine does not make a good combination. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, you need an accelerator pump. And he goes, oh God, sounds expensive. So I said, no, it's about a $5 part. So I said, here's what you need. Just get it. He goes to his house. He looks through some of the old stuff that the previous owner had from 20 years ago. And he goes, is this what we're looking for? I said, it's exactly. It won't even cost you the $5. We unscrewed the 4 bolts. We put that thing in it, and he was off and running. He's like, how did you fucking know what that was? I said, you work on 5 or 6 of these, and you kind of get a understanding that they're all alike. They're in a different body and a different car. So
that's pretty cool.
We had a good time doing that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, at my day job where I deal with report stuff, I'll have some ASC, which is like the advanced support consultant. Like they know, some of them know reporting better, some of them don't know it as well. And so when they have a problem and they'll come to me and they're like, yeah, I got this variable and it's doing this, but it's multi-valuing and it's doing, and I'm like, it's this. It's like, it's context. And they're like, I didn't even finish telling you what. I'm like, I know what's wrong. I can see it already. Okay. Just here, do this and this and this. And they're like, oh my God, how'd you know that? I'm like, you just see it after a while. You see the patterns.
You see the pattern. You know exactly what it is. Nice. Exactly. Hey, I want to ask you something, and maybe you use this every day, maybe you don't. I don't know, but have you done anything strategically, whether business or personal, using AI as your tool today? Like, if I had to say, what did you use AI for today? What was that? What would you do?
I've not used it today at all. I don't use it a lot. I know there are opportunities I think that I'm missing that could help me be more efficient by using it. And I do use it occasionally, but not all that often.
I use it every day.
Yeah.
I use it pretty much for every email that I respond to. Now, instead of letting AI, what I normally do is I copy the email into, and I know that I think Google has Gemini. I think that's their resource, but I don't find that is as intuitive as ChatGPT. I've never used Claude, but we can talk about that too. But ChatGPT, I will load in the email to ChatGPT and I will say what I want to say, but just plain language. I'm like, fuck it, I don't really care. I'll write that in there, and just give me a personal, professional response that tells them I'm interested. I want to hear more information specifically about this, and this, and then it'll just write the whole email for me. Copy and paste it in my email response, and man, it makes it so much easier for me to respond, and I can do it so much faster than I see those emails you write sometimes, and I'm like, God, it's such a long email. You've put so much effort into it.
I know, too much detail. Although it is funny you mentioned that, because I think the email I sent out that I replied to, who did I reply to today? Chris.
Right.
I do think I have it set up in my Gmail where I'll be typing, I'll finish a sentence and keep going, and it'll be like, hey, we can clean this up for you if you like. And I'll look at the sentence and be like, it looks fine. I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me click on it. And it'll rearrange it. I'm like, yeah, that's better. Okay, let's leave it. And I did that at least 2 or 3 times in that email. And I was like, yeah, it's fucking better and cleaner.
So you don't use it as like, I was using it last night. We were watching, talk about Netflix series. Have you ever watched Tracker? It's not on Netflix. It's on Prime.
No, I haven't heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, so Prime Video. I can't remember the name of the guy, but the name of the show is Tracker, and it's like season 3 or 4, and it's at episode 11, and we noticed there was no more episodes after 11. So I thought, oh man, the show got canceled. But actually, it's one of the most popular shows. I think it's produced or directed or whatever by CBS.
Yeah, so, it's a CBS show. Yeah.
Right. So I guess Prime has access to CBS shows. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So I was watching it, and I'm like, did Tracker get canceled, or is it like mid-season, or where is it? And ChatGPT will tell you exactly. And I can just talk it into ChatGPT. I don't even have to type it. So we do that about 8 times every night as we're sitting watching television.
Wow.
Like, who is that actor, and what are they in? What else are they in that we know?
Dude, you are using it way better and more effectively than I am. So
I like using it. I think that there's 2 schools of thought with AI. One of them is that it's going to destroy everything, including mankind, because it's going to take over and the bombs are coming. Gonna come. And then the other is going to be like, it's going to eliminate jobs that are redundant right now, but the people that are going to be taken out of their jobs are going to be given other opportunities to do other things, or they're going to learn other things. I think it's the people that are stuck in the, what do you mean they're going to replace my checkout people with computers? Do you remember the whole thing with like you used self-checkout at the store, or you don't?
Oh yeah, I use self-checkout all the time. And it's so crazy to me when it started getting more popular and people are like, don't use self-checkout. They're just trying to make the cashiers lose their jobs, and they're firing cashiers because we're using self-checkout. And it's like, well, maybe they'll lower the fucking prices. How great would that be if they don't have to hire as many cashiers, right?
You know what? They said the same thing about stable cleaners. Like, well, what's going to happen to all the shit cleaners in the barns? I'm like, they're going to figure out something else, because shit doesn't have to be cleaned anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, when somebody says something like that, I'm like, why don't you go home to your IBM Selectric typewriter, okay,
right.
and fucking type a letter and mail it to your congressman and see if they give a fuck.
What Henry Ford say? If I gave the market what they wanted, I gave them faster horses.
Right, 100%. That's it. The people don't always know what they want. And
I can tell you what I don't want right now, though. Fucking $6 a gallon for fucking gasoline here right now.
Damn, I wonder how that happened. I mean, our great president, let's take a list of the things that he said, the most important things to him. First of all, the border. Okay, I really haven't paid much attention specifically to we've tightened up the border, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt with that. I mean, we had to, kill a couple of Americans and then jail a couple hundred citizens to get there. But okay, let's say he's done a good job on that. Let's see, make the economy better. Nope, that hasn't happened. We're losing jobs right now. Make groceries cheaper. Nope, that hasn't happened. They got more expensive.
He just laughs at the word groceries. He's never been grocery shopping.
Right, it's true. He's probably never been to a grocery store.
And the two words that he laughs at, which I really think is disrespectful and I don't understand. He laughs at the word groceries and he laughs at the word affordability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we need affordable groceries.
Affordability, that's a woke thing. I don't understand what that word even means. I don't know why people are using it. Afford a what? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand it.
Why gasoline is, and I saw there was a press release that came out. I don't know who and what government agency or what reporting agency came out with this report, but it basically said the cost of gasoline is escalating. It's anticipated this year it will reach $4 a gallon, and I'm like, that would be great. That would be great. $4 a gallon. Shit, I'm telling you, at a number of places that we passed the other day as we were driving out of town, $6 a gallon.
Welcome to California. There you go.
Oh God.
Okay, so gas is the groceries are more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Yeah. He also said no wars, no, because we care about us. We need to focus on us. Domestic I understand policy. Trump has bombed 8 different countries this year, which is a new record. And he still thinks he deserves this peace prize thing. I don't understand. I don't think he knows what that word means. I don't think he doesn't know what it means.
All this. And yet, Squid Games is still the most watched series on Netflix ever.
I never did watch season 2.
No, I watched season 2, and it was okay. But season 3, the next season, or whatever it was, the final season, whenever it just came out or recently came out.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's only going to be 3 seasons. Okay.
I don't. Hold on a second. Let's see. Squid.
Go to ChatGPT.
Games. I'll just type in Squid Games. Yeah, 3 seasons. Yeah, I did not like the beginning of season 3, and I just bailed. Season 1 was really good. I really liked it. Season 2 I felt was good also, but a lot more of the same, basically, is how I was looking at it. And then season 3, I'm like, oh, fuck it, man. This is just taking a really awful turn. I just didn't like the turn that it was going in.
Okay, fair enough.
Not watching it anymore.
So, yeah, today is Tuesday as we are recording this. By the way, welcome back. My name's Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. So between today and Friday when the episode comes out, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? But as of today, we've been at war with Iran for, 8-10 days or something. And apparently during an interview with CBS News yesterday afternoon, so that would be Monday afternoon, President Trump said, I think the war is very complete, pretty much complete. And then later in the day, he said, we're achieving major strides towards completing our military objective. Some people could say they're pretty much complete. And in the same day, the Department of Defense posted on X, we've only just begun to fight. Okay. And then when a reporter asked Trump that, he said, are we pretty much done or have we only begun to fight? His answer was, well, I think you could say both. You could pretty much say both.
How do you say both and be accurate? Yes, no.
Okay. Yeah. So who fucking knows what is going on? Except that apparently Trump, in an effort to keep gas prices down.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
In an effort to keep gas prices down.
Got my attention.
He has said that he may, if he hasn't done it already, he may loosen restrictions on Russian oil. So like the Russians, we've basically said you can't buy Russian oil because we're trying to keep them from putting money in their war chest to like lengthen their war with Ukraine. Okay, so basically what he's saying now is we may loosen those restrictions so we could buy oil from Russia. And so that way Russia has more money to extend their war with Ukraine. But we've also found out that Russia has actually been sharing America, Trump and Putin, they're like fucking buddy, right? Mm-hmm. Like we share all this info with Russia now. Okay, well, apparently Russia has taken that info and they are sharing that with Iran. So in other words, Russia is telling Iran, because we've told Russia, where American troops are and where like American planes are and fucking all kinds of shit. And so we're saying we're going to allow people to buy Russian oil so the Russians will have more money and then they can keep feeding information to Iran, which will make our war longer, which means gas prices will go up. I don't see the plus side here for us doing that. But hey, Trump knows everything. He's the smartest guy in the room. So he must have some kind of a plan.
Wouldn't you figure that how long have automobiles been around? How long have we been using gasoline?
About 120 years or so.
Wouldn't you figure there would be an alternative to that?
There is.
Possibly come up with an alternative to that, maybe like an electric car or some other resource. Maybe they just need to put the kibosh on gasoline powered automobiles. Now, I'm not saying that I want that to happen because I do own many gasoline powered cars. I think even if gas were $10 a gallon, I still would buy it for my classics. But it would force me to think long and hard about wanting to get a Tesla or what's it called? A Vivian?
Or Rivian or
one
of the others. Yeah.
One of the others. I mean, there are so many other opportunities. I think it's the gas lobby. I think it's the petroleum lobby.
Well,
I think that there's so many other things. The tobacco lobby, I'm sure, is involved in there. Tobacco and Russia have a lot in common. It's kind of like the tobacco, the gasoline lobby, and the Russian lobby are all like enemies of the state. I just think that we should have an alternative to gasoline. Why can't we force this to happen?
Dude, you just answered your own fucking question. I mean,
I know I answered the question,
but why can't we make it happen? The petroleum and oil lobbies, they are the fucking most powerful shit in the world. And our politicians, as is evidenced by most Republicans in Congress right now, they're all about themselves. And so the lobbyists are fucking putting money in their pockets. And so they don't give a shit about serving us. I mean, there have been, I think I saw that there are over 50 Republicans who are either retiring or not running again this year. And it's because they're looking at everybody else just bowing down to Trump and they're like, fuck this. This is insane. I'm not doing it anymore.
But they're not speaking ill of our current administration.
Some of them are, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was a big fan of Trump for many years. I don't remember specifically. I think it was something with the Epstein files that he finally crossed the line. And she not only said, fuck it, I'm not going to run again. She just quit. She's like, I'm done fucking now. And now, like every day, she is like, Trump is the goddamn Antichrist. But you're right. There is nobody who still has their seat in Congress that I know of that's speaking up against him. It's basically, if you quit, everybody that's quitting, even the Republicans are like, this is fucked up and he's an asshole. And I can't believe people are still following him. But if you're still got your seat, God forbid you say something bad about him. He's like, I'm going to tell everybody not to vote for you. It's fucking ridiculous.
There was a most recent episode of This American Life. I know you're not a big podcast listener outside of the Nice Guys on Business, where you're actually not listening, you're just talking. There is many, many really good podcasts. I listen to The Daily. I listen to The Journal. I listen a lot now to what's the guy's name? PJ from Search Engine. You turned me on to that show.
The Search Engine one.
That's a fucking great podcast. Really interesting topics. Anyway, This American Life. Ira Glass is the host of that show. They had a new episode. Every once in a while, they'll put a new one out. They do a lot of classic rewinds because they've been around forever. This one was about an insider's look at the legal side of ICE and two whistleblowers, two attorneys that were blowing the whistle on the contradiction in policy from what they actually say to the public versus what they actually do in action. Mm-hmm. And these two attorneys, they go on to This American Life, and they share their story about how, like, you know, a judge would say, okay, we need that person brought back. And they would just cover it with so much red tape and backpedaling and just like, oh, well, he did it and he did it and he did it. And they wouldn't get that because they were like, I don't know where he is, but they knew exactly where he is. But we're like, okay, well, we have to talk to this person's, the person that runs that jail or that transport company. We'll get them back into the U.S. And it just shares the story of these two attorneys and how often they were like, we're not even training these folks at ICE. We're not training them how to use weapons. We're not training them how to peaceably break up a disturbance. We're not teaching them anything. We're basically just letting them go out and do whatever they want to. We're giving them a uniform. Mm-hmm. So it's just a really interesting perspective on this past week's This American Life.
I've got a show I listen to sometimes called 99% Invisible.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, and the problem is they've got a lot of topics I don't care about.
Roman, what's the guy's name? Is it Roman?
I don't remember. I don't listen to it that often, but sometimes I find a topic I like. Like there's an episode, I think it's a recent one, called Where the Fuck Are We? And I'm like, okay, I like the title. What's this about, right? And it's all about longitude and latitude. And so for hundreds and hundreds of years, we've been able to navigate the latitude, like vertical. In other words, how far north or south are you on the planet? Because you can look at the stars and you can figure out the angle of where you are north or south on the planet by that. But up until, I think it was around 1750 or 1800, we had almost no way. We had no accurate way to figure out east and west where you were.
Really?
Yeah, because the planet obviously is rotating constantly, right?
I'm Roman Mars. This is 99% invisible. He's got a really good voice. Really good.
Yeah,
voice.
He does have a great voice. And so the planet is rotating constantly.
Right.
So you can't go by the stars because, you wait 15 minutes and they're going to be in a different place because the Earth is spinning all the time, right?
Right. I got it.
They used to have this thing called dead reckoning, and you would take a rope and you would let it go behind the ship.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. This was a repeat episode. I've heard this. Yeah,
that's how you could figure out how fast you were going.
Knots.
And that's where the term knots came from, because you put a knot in the rope at specific distances. But it was incredibly inaccurate, because it's like, well, if it's this far and it goes out this fast, I guess we're going about this fast, right? And so ships would get lost constantly. You would be like hundreds of miles off course because one little degree off north and south, and you don't know where the fuck you're going. So basically they, I think it was the UK government put out this thing for £20,000, which is about $3 million today. They said, if somebody can figure out how to do this, we're going to pay you $3 million. And all these astronomers are like, well, how can we do it by the stars, right? That's how we do latitude. It's got
right.
It was a fucking clockmaker that figured it out.
The magnet?
Goddamn interesting. No, basically what he figured out was, if you know what time it is back home and the difference between what time it is where you are and the time back home, you can figure out how far away you are from home. And so you can calculate how far east or west you are from home.
Oh, my brain just had a cramp. So can you give me that in working action? Like if it's...
So basically what the idea is, and this is exact until we had fucking satellites and GPS and shit, right?
Got it. Okay.
This was exactly how we did this for the last 150, 200 years or something, right? Basically, let's say you leave home and you have a clock and you know it is exactly 1 o'clock when you leave home. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's say you head due east. Now, if where you are, if it's say 3 o'clock, okay, and you know it's 3 o'clock because you have this clock on your ship that's keeping good time, and you have this other, like, you know that it's been exactly 2 hours or 3 hours since you left home, okay, then you can calculate how far east you have gone, because you can look at, it's not like what time it is now. You can look at the sun and see how high in the sky the sun is. And if you know how high in the sky the sun is compared to 3 o'clock back, I don't fucking know the details.
Look, all I know is if I take my iPhone with me, it tells me. That's
right.
That's all I know.
But it was fascinating shit. And so first of all, he figured out the idea that, okay, this is logically the way I can do it. Okay. But here's the problem. When you put a clock on a ship, first of all, at the time, like 200 years ago or whatever, the gear oil for clocks, even big clocks, were relatively inaccurate. They would lose time on the regular or gain time on the regular. And when you go out to sea, the salt air would muck up the gears. And
got clocks with scurvy.
And when it gets too hot or too cold, the gears that have different types of metal would expand and contract in different ways, which would also mess up the time. And then there was, and most accurate clocks used a pendulum to go back and forth, and weights. Well, if you're
doesn't
at
work
sea,
in the waves.
Right, it fucks up your pendulum. This guy that came up with this theory of how to do this, he spent 5 years working on a clock, building a clock that would work and be accurate at sea. And he presents it, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they test it, and it works. And they're like, this is great. Let's do this. And he's like, you know what? It's not accurate enough. I can think of some situations where it's not going to. He spent the next 20 fucking years perfecting this thing to make it even better. And the one he built was like 75 pounds and huge. 20 years he spent, and he came up with one that was like pocket watch size. And it's fucking amazing. And that's basically what they used for the next 200 years.
All right. So trivia question for you guys, nice guy community. Was his name John Longjeans? Was his name John Timex? Or was it John Swatch? Okay. You say what?
It's funny that you say that, because this guy was actually, so at the time they've got like Clockworkers Guild and shit, right? And trained guy. This guy was completely untrained. He was self-trained, and he made clocks on his own, and people paid shitloads of money for him because he was that good. But he wasn't even part of the guild or whatever the fuck it was at the time.
His name was actually Thomas Crapper. He also invented the toilet. What the hell?
Oh, my.
So many good pieces of trivia in there.
I know, right? And the other, I'll give you just one quick piece of trivia about another episode of 99% Invisible.
Oh, okay. I love 99%. I have not listened to it. I forgot all about it. I've listened to so many other shows. I forgot about it.
The Hoover Dam.
All right. The biggest dam. It's also the one that backs up Lake, is it Mead or Powell?
Lake Mead, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's I don't remember. I don't know if it's the biggest anymore, but it was the biggest at the time when it was built.
Yeah.
In the 30s, right?
Okay. Right.
So, when they poured the concrete for it, right? They had to pour it in blocks. They couldn't do it all at once, because the way concrete works, if they had just like poured the whole concrete all at once for the whole thing,
right,
it would have actually taken 600 years to fully cure.
Why?
So there's something about the way concrete works
that
when it cures, it like releases heat, and it takes, depending on how thick it is, it takes time to cure. It literally would have taken 600 years to cure if they'd poured it like that.
Yeah, that brings up another interesting piece of trivia. Why is it that the center of the Earth is molten? Why is it molten? You would think it would be colder. I mean, it's been here for billions of years. I mean, this is the best thermos that I've ever seen. Hot or cold, you can put your liquid into the center of the Earth, and it will turn into molten. It will stay frozen. It just depends on how you enter it into the Earth.
Well, what's interesting is, like, we know that, but we only know that because of theories and other shit that scientists have come up with. Nobody's been there. Like, we don't know for sure.
Let's see. The temperature at the center of the Earth is estimated to be about 5,400 to 6,000 Celsius, about 9,800 to 10,800 degrees. That's roughly as hot as the surface of the fucking sun. Mm-hmm. What the hell?
That's crazy.
Then why is it cold? Hold on. When does it start? When does it start to get warm? Because the outside is cold. Okay, hold on. Let's see. It starts warming up almost immediately as you go underground. On average, the temperature increases about 14 to 16 degrees Fahrenheit per 1,000 feet as you go deeper. So 10 to 20 feet down, the temperature stabilizes near yearly average temperature, roughly 60 to 65. It's funny, it knows where I live. That's scary. 100 feet down, it's still 60 to 65 degrees year-round. 1 mile down, it's 90 to 120 degrees. 3 miles down, it's 200 degrees.
No fucking way. Is that right?
6 to 12 miles, it's 400 to 800 degrees. So even though the surface might feel cold, just a few feet underground, it's already warmer and very stable, which is why wine cellars, basements, and geothermal systems work well. What the fuck?
So what's the deepest that we have ever dug into the Earth then?
How far has...
Because I know it's at least a mile or 2 or 3. And to realize that 3 miles down, it's already 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That's
all right, so the deepest hole humans have ever drilled is the Kola Super Deep Borehole in Russia. Mm-hmm. It is, 12,262 meters or 7.6 miles deep.
Oh my God!
Its Earth's radius is about 4,000 miles, I guess, through into the center. Humans have only reached about 0.2% of the way to the center. I wonder why that's the case.
Well, it's too fucking hot.
Oh, okay. So their drill bit keeps breaking.
Well, I mean, that's it. Well, look at that. You just said, didn't you say 3 to 6 miles down, it's 200 degrees?
All right, hold on. Let's 3 miles down, it's 200 degrees. 6 miles down, it's 400 to 800 degrees.
Right, and that's 7.5 miles.
Damn.
So it's 400 fucking degrees at the bottom of that mine.
They started drilling in 1970. They stopped in 1989, 19 years later, because temperatures reached 356 degrees Fahrenheit, which made drilling equipment fail. The hole itself is only about 9 inches wide near the bottom. So even the deepest hole humans have made is tiny compared to the Earth's size.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Damn. Look at us getting all sciencey and shit.
That's really... It just seems so funny, we will go to extremes to put a man on the moon, and we're, colonizing Mars and, all of that stuff. But we've only gone 7 miles into the fucking Earth.
Right?
Let's just keep going. What could happen? What would be really cool? Okay, drill a hole all the way through from where we are to the other side. So wherever you are in Austin, Texas, straight through, and then you load like a string up, and then you grab it on the other side of it. You could probably stop the Earth from rotating if you did that.
Okay, Superman. All right. Wasn't that Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves where he turned the fucking Earth? I don't remember something like that.
Yeah, what would happen? Okay, think about this. Hold on a second. I got to type this in. What would happen? What would happen if the Earth rotated the other way.
Well, if it stopped and then turned the other way, when it stopped, we'd all fucking fly off because gravity only exists because the Earth is spinning.
All right, hold up. So the first one is kind of obvious. If Earth suddenly rotated the opposite direction, several big things would change. First of all, the sun would rise in the west instead in the east. Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Everything we think of as east and west sunrise would flip. Weather systems would reverse direction because of the Coriolis effect. Major wind patterns would reverse. Hurricanes would spin in the opposite direction. You know what's cool? Have you ever been south of the equator and you flushed a toilet? It goes the other way. I don't know if you know that.
I was aware of that, but I don't think I've ever been south of the equator. And I got to tell you, I probably wouldn't notice. I couldn't tell you which direction they go here.
All right. Ocean currents would reorganize. Major currents like the Gulf Stream would likely weaken or move differently. That could make Europe much colder and shift climates worldwide. Desert, and I don't see anything like doom and gloom. I just see things like it may be a minor inconvenience. Like,
yeah, but what you've asked is, hey, what if you snapped your fingers and it just switched, right? That's different from like, okay, well, let's stop it spinning and slow it down and start moving it the other direction.
Right, hold on.
I think you should say, what would happen if Earth stopped rotating?
I got it. They give me two options here. The planet itself would be fine if it happened gradually over millions of years. Earth would adjust and life would continue just with very different climate patterns. However,
but only if it happened over millions of years.
If it somehow flipped instantly, though, the inertia of the atmosphere and oceans would cause catastrophic global storms and mega tsunamis. Can you imagine, like it's kind of like you're have you ever washed a pan in the sink and you're like you're swirling the water to the right and then you just stop? Yeah. It's like it throws the water. The water crashes into itself. I mean, first of all, my pool would empty. I don't know if we could handle that. That would not be good.
That's funny, actually. I just remembered there was a time I went to a friend's house and they had an above ground pool. And I'm playing with their kids. Yeah. They got 3 kids that were like, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8. And we're like chasing each other around the outside of the pool, right? No. So we're all going in the same direction. And then if you would stop, like the water would just be like, whoosh, it just keeps pushing you because we had without even realizing it, we had created this spin, this basically little mini hurricane in the water. And if you try to stop, it's like it just keeps going.
Yeah, very hard. I was taking a hike with JJ this morning, and I said to her, I don't know why this even popped into my head. I think we might have been talking about TV, or maybe we were talking about the creation of today's episode, and we usually have like a little Netflix conversation or what's best series. And I said, just out of nowhere, I said, is The Simpsons still on television?
Oh yeah. And for those of you watching here, I'm zooming in on Cookie, who's been a very good cat, just sleeping in the window. That's her normal day right there.
Let's see. Can you see Luna behind me?
Oh yeah, look at that.
I don't know how to zoom in, but she'll put both of her hands over her head and just kind of bury her head.
Love it.
And anyway, so we both came to the conclusion, or at least I came to the conclusion. I'm like, I don't think it's still on.
No, it's on.
But I guess I would have heard if it was canceled, and then I just looked it up because I just remembered that I
think it's like 37 seasons, right?
It started in 1989. It's the longest running scripted primetime TV series in U.S. history. New episodes are still being produced, with seasons continuing into the late 2020s. It also streams on Disney, where you can watch nearly every episode.
That's crazy.
The Simpsons. Yeah. I've never seen an episode.
Are you kidding?
No, I've never watched The Simpsons.
You've never seen an episode of The Simpsons?
Not one.
Wow.
I mean, I can tell you like the characters because, you see them enough in pop culture. But
oh my gosh, that's crazy. I haven't watched in years. I wasn't a big fan, but when I watch it, it's pretty funny. You should look up what have the Simpsons predicted about Donald Trump, because there have been like a dozen things. Like there was an episode where he was president in the future, and like there's all kinds of shit that has actually come true that they've predicted.
All right, so I just typed that in. The Simpsons is famous for jokes that later seem to match real events. A few moments people linked to Donald Trump include Trump becoming president in the year 2000. So he was talking in the episode Bart to the Future. Lisa becomes president and says the country inherited a budget crisis from President Trump. At the time, it was written as a joke about an unlikely future. Let's see. In 2015 episode shows Homer riding an escalator next to Trump after Trump announces his candidacy in 2015 with the famous escalator ride in New York. People noticed the similarity. Political satire during his presidency. After 2016, later episodes regularly joked about Trump-era politics and policies. Most of these weren't true predictions. The writers often pick exaggerated or unlikely scenarios for comedy, and when life later resembles them, it looks prophetic. So it's very true.
Yeah.
Amazing. Hey, I think we have a couple of voicemails.
We do have a couple of voicemails.
All right, let's jump in. Since we're approaching our hour, we might want to just check those out before we continue on.
Yeah, because of course, as soon as we go to it, you're going to interrupt, of course, as is your way.
No, I don't think I'm going to, but I don't know yet.
Oh, yeah?
Don't know.
You don't think something's going to come into your mind?
I probably will, but
the 27 seconds that it takes for the intro to play?
I don't know that it will, but I also can't argue that it won't. So how about that? Let's take it.
Fair enough. Okay, let's see, make sure I got all of the right settings and I got my abacus set, and here, let's see what happens. Cross our fingers.
All right.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
I have nothing.
Oh, really?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
I try to every once in a while come up with like a life's question, like what would happen if. I'm just curious, based upon how we're doing right now, when do we anticipate the extinction of mankind? It's just
well, the way things are going right now with Trump as president, next week, I'm thinking. I mean,
I hope not.
It's funny talking
CDs,
about.
I got CDs due after that, so I can't happen.
With our voicemail from Jared Music, we just got a text in our fuckery thread that this was one that we didn't talk about. In one of the first days of the war, an elementary school got bombed in Iran.
Wait.
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Yeah. 175 people killed.
We do this?
Well, that's the question, right?
So why would Iran do this?
And mostly kids. So when it first happened, Trump was like, "Oh, that was Iran. They made a mistake. They bombed themselves. There's no way we did that." And then somebody came up with video that showed that it was a Tomahawk missile.
Oh no.
And Trump said, no, lots of countries have Tomahawk missiles. I think Iran has them as well. It wasn't us. And so then, of course, facts came out and said, no, we've got a couple of our allies in the UK have Tomahawk missiles. It wasn't any of them. Right. So it definitely was a U.S. missile. Well, what Jared just sent me, apparently Trump is now saying, no, here's what happened. It was a Tomahawk, okay, but Iran stole one of our Tomahawks, okay?
But they caught it in the air.
Right, they stole it from the U.S., and then they bombed themselves. There's no way it was us. Like, all he does is lie. Anyway, that's enough of that. Are we ready for the voicemails now?
No, well, hold on. I wanted to play this out just for a quick second because I think this is really interesting. I asked ChatGPT when is it, if the extinction of mankind is coming, when would it be and what would be the cause of it? So I think we just struck upon one, and I think you could you repeat? You remember what it was that you said what would be the cause of the extinction of mankind?
No, I mean, in general, I said war. Specifically, I said Trump's war, but yeah.
Nuclear exchange could trigger nuclear winter, which soots, blocks sunlight, and disrupts global food supplies. Okay, so that's one. We could, of course, have an asteroid impact. I don't really like to think of it that way because I really do like to think that we have an atmosphere that's going to take care of that, but
or that we would, if it was coming, we would know far enough ahead of time that we could do something about it.
All right, so that one is a natural disaster. I would assume asteroid impact. Nuclear war, we know that would be man-made, mankind. Engineered pandemics, interesting. Natural diseases rarely wipe out entire species, but scientists worry about highly contagious engineered pathogen. 2020, can I just say that? Is that possible? All right, so that's man-made. So of the top three, one is a natural disaster. Two of them are mankind. 4, runaway climate or ecosystem collapse. Now, would that be because of man, or would that be a natural disaster, do you think?
Oh, totally because of man, and we're moving in that direction. But I think not everybody, the non-believers like Trump's administration and most of the Republicans are like, oh yeah, it's not real. It's bullshit. You guys are exaggerating. And, sure, we could keep saying that and fucking take our chances. But
all right, so we'll put that in the maybe it could be man-made, but maybe it could be natural. So of the top 4, we have 2 definitely mankind taking place. One a natural and one is just kind of unsure. But the 5th one would be AI or emerging technology risks. Some researchers study risks from powerful technologies that could be misused or poorly controlled. So of the 5, there is a high likelihood that 4 of them would be because of us. That's a little bit disconcerting to think that we have it within our power to stop that, and we are not stopping that.
Yeah, Doug suggested that AI could take over the world, and I laughed, and then Doug laughed, and then Siri laughed, and then Claude laughed. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Chat laughed.
Yeah.
And then all of those people laughed. Okay. And then Alexa laughed. Alexa is late. Is she late to the party? Because wasn't she like the original AI?
Okay, so this is a bit weird. It's funny you bring that up. So apparently over the last couple of weeks, maybe couple of months, Alexa has gotten an upgrade because we use Alexa around here, but it's usually stuff like, Alexa set a timer for 5 minutes or some shit like that, right?
Right.
So apparently Alexa now is infused with AI, but what that means is, and I don't know if you'll notice this, but Alexa has more of a personality now.
Oh, hold on a second. Wasn't Alexa always AI, or was she just like, what's the difference between a bot and AI? I thought a bot did have AI, and I thought Alexa was a bot.
That's a goddamn good question. Maybe this is just the way they're spinning it now.
Okay.
But the bottom line is Alexa has a personality now. So do you use Siri often?
No, I don't use Siri or Alexa, not because I'm concerned that they're always listening. I think that was more of a JJ concern than a Doug concern, but it would always like foul up. Like I would say something and like Alexa would come on, or it would like I can't have it in my office as I'm recording episodes because something I could say could automatically trigger, and I don't want to hear that as I'm recording an episode. So it wasn't in my office. I don't know why we don't use it. I think anytime technology can be used like I would love to be able to take something out of the refrigerator, put it back into the refrigerator in wherever position that I want to put it in, and it will make a note, hey, you're getting a little low on cream, or that's your last piece of bacon that you've taken out of the fridge. That to me would be extremely helpful.
You see, that would be an incredibly good practical use, I would think. and you can set your own limits, right?
Correct. Right.
Like when I have 4 pieces of bacon left, I need more. Or when I only have a cup of milk left, remind me to get more.
Yeah.
But there are other things like Vera and my daughter Amanda. They will always use Alexa. Like they'll be, hey Alexa, set a potato timer for 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now there's a timer on our fucking stove, right? Like I just hit timer start and I put in 20 minutes
Right.
and it goes.
Same.
And so when they want to know how much time is left, they have to say, hey Alexa, how much time is left in my potato timer? I just look at the fucking clock. But there are other things, like if there's a song I want to hear, I'll be like, hey, Alexa, play this fucking song or whatever. But what's weird is Alexa has a specific voice. Like when you hear it, you recognize it as Alexa, but it was still very flat. It was like, it's just not a lot of, even if you tell Alexa to tell a joke, it is said in sort of an Alexa monotone, right? Well, now Alexa has personality and it's very weird because it's kind of subtle, but you can feel it. Like it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah. I can't even, if anybody out there is listening and knows what I'm talking about, please call in and try and explain it better than me.
Isn't it a little like haptics for voice? Isn't it? It's a little like that. It's like, okay, how does my phone know whether I'm using 2 fingers or 3 fingers? And yet there is a completely different response if I'm using 3 fingers as opposed to 2 or 4 or an entire hand. So
I get how it works, but the question of like, why? And why does it bug me so much? It's there's something very weird about it. Well, I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Do you remember Casey Kasem used to be the voice of Scooby-Doo, right? I know I just aged myself there. But if you ever got like somebody other than Casey Kasem doing Scooby or Shaggy, or if you ever had anybody other than Mel Blanc do Bugs Bunny, it would seem like it's a little off. It's just a little
like Kermit the Frog, right? Jim Henson was the voice of Kermit, and Kermit sounds very similar now, but like I can tell it's a different person doing the voice, right? Yeah, I'm with you exactly. It's
poser, poser. That's all I gotta say. Okay.
Anyway, if Alexa's new personality bugs anybody else out there, 4242 DJ Doug, please give us a call and leave us a message because I'm dying to know if it's just me or if everybody is like, it's fucking weird.
How would you feel about having a completely smart house? Like you don't have to have like an Alexa station. You could just be there are microphones everywhere in your house. Would you feel like creeped out as a result of that? Or would you feel like comforted that if you're in bed and you hear a noise and you could say, hey, what was that? And then Alexa could say, oh, it's nothing. It's just the wind, or so. I mean, how would you feel about that?
I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, my phone is listening to me all the goddamn time anyway. And I always have that with me. So really, fucking Skynet is listening all the time. I mean,
I guess
if I say some weird, like if I were to say Airstream, like talking about your Airstream, I'm sure I'm going to start seeing fucking ads for Airstreams now.
Okay. Yeah. So then it becomes a matter of who owns that information that's coming out of your mouth. And then if Anthropic, who is right now dealing with the federal government in one of their conditions, no, we can't have domestic surveillance. Somebody is going to own all of that material. I'm not saying they're going to use it against you, but it's like, hey, if you start searching for prenatal vitamins and you get a mailer from Target that gives you a coupon for prenatal vitamins, you're like, what the fuck? Like, do you want that or do you not want that?
Well, Anthropic just recently got put on the do not use list for the government.
Okay.
Right?
Did they end up going? So did Anthropic drop out of the deal? They just said, hey, we can't go in the direction that the government wants us to go in?
Yeah, but they're taking the government to court.
Okay.
Basically, Pete Hegseth was like, "Look, if you don't take off the boundaries, take off the guardrails on this, so that I'm allowed to so that the military is allowed to basically surveil anybody they want, and that we can build weapons that are 100% AI and don't need people. If you don't lift those restrictions, we're not only are we not going to use you, so you're going to lose like a $200 million contract with the Defense Department, but everybody we work with is not allowed to use you, like Lockheed Martin and Boeing and all of those fucking guys. None of them can use you either.
I heard that Anthropic had to pay Netflix $2 billion to get out of the deal. You remember that? We were talking last week.
Oh, God.
About Warner Brothers or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I'll take that $2.2 million
$2.4 billion. Yeah. There could have been, oh God. And just imagine what we could have done with that $200 million that she spent on, who was it? Noam, what's her name?
Christy Noam. Oh yeah. $220 million ad campaign of her riding on a fucking horse. Yeah. That's one expensive fucking horse right there.
That is, God. How many people had to pay taxes, and how many people overpaid in taxes so that those advertisements could go through?
Well, and ICE is buying up warehouses because their plan is to rustle up anybody whose skin doesn't look like yours or mine and fucking put them away in detention camps. But have you heard that scandal yet?
No. So tell me what that's all about.
So the last 3 or 4 warehouses that they've bought, they have paid 2 to 5 times the value. So one example is there's a warehouse in Georgia that was purchased 2 years ago by somebody for like $28 million or something.
All right.
Now, happens to be somebody with ties to Russia.
Okay.
Now, and this was 2 years ago, right? So this isn't like they bought this warehouse 20 years ago. It's 2 years ago.
Right.
So ICE just bought it from them for $129 million.
Why? Why did they have to overpay?
That's what everybody's asking.
Was part of
Hagerstown,
it like hush money
Hagerstown, Maryland. There's one in Hagerstown, Maryland that somebody had purchased like 5 years ago, and ICE just paid like 3 times what they paid for it. There's already a jail in Hagerstown. Why don't they just put the people there? Why do we need a special place? And they have to retrofit all of these places. And then what happens when this administration is gone and all of those are like, you know what? We should take those and the old office buildings and we should convert them into condos, except these condos will actually already have built-in bars on them. So that'll be perfect. Dude, but you see, that's the thing. I am starting to believe, and who knows, this could be like conspiracy theory shit, but it's looking more and more real that, Christy Noam or whoever is setting this shit up. Basically, they're cutting deals. Like they probably went to this guy. Who knows if this guy that bought the warehouse with his Moscow ties, if they didn't say, hey, by the way, when Trump gets elected again, we're going to be buying up a bunch of warehouses. So you should buy them now. And then when we get in office, we'll buy them from you at a ridiculous profit, and we're going to split the profit.
We need to call our pal Drew Briscoe and see if we can get this in as a part of our commercial real estate deal.
I know, right? No,
haven't gotten your tax forms yet, have you?
No.
I have 4 of those properties. So just so you know, I have 4 of them. So I'm waiting on I can't do anything about my personal taxes yet either until I get those whatever those K1s.
Well, that's the only thing. K1 is the only thing it's waiting on, and I'm supposed to be getting a big fucking refund this year, which is
good. Can we apply your refund to how much I'm going to owe this year? Because that's going to be pretty bad.
No, dude, that's why I got married, because Vera didn't make shit the last 2 years because she's been a student, and so I'm going to pay much less taxes this year that I've already paid it, so I'll be getting it back, but that's funding my Europe trip.
And nice guy community, when Strickland says Vera didn't make shit, what he actually means is because Vera was busy taking care of Strickland. That's what he meant to say. So that is my interpretation and what we will officially put on the transcript. So if we could redact out that part where Strickland said Vera didn't do shit and replace it with Vera was taking care of Strickland.
I didn't say she didn't do shit. She's been working her ass off at school.
I'm sorry, you said she didn't make shit. I'm sorry.
Right. She's been in school for 3 semesters. This is her final semester. She's graduating in May. She is a straight A fucking student at Southwestern University.
Because she's smart. That's because she's smart.
Well, and because she's working her ass off.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to listen to these voicemails
yes,
now?
now we are. I'm glad we didn't interrupt.
Here we go.
Hello, Doug. Hello, Strickland. It's Emily Aborn with my dulcet tones, delivering, as asked, a voicemail because you're right. You haven't really heard from me. I've been so busy this beginning of the year. It's been crazy. Okay, so your episode was titled Financial, or you guys are financial advice or something like that. I'm not going to look at it right now, but something along the lines of financial. And I was like, oh dear God, I braced myself. But and maybe you'll get to it, I paused when I heard you request. I came running as soon as I heard you call.
Love that.
And maybe you'll get to the financial stuff. But I did love, and I think this is my favorite part of humans, learning about humans. I loved learning your guys' morning routines. That is so fun for me. It tells you so much about a person. Yeah, so just like I'm not going to give you my entire one because the whole thing takes about 24 hours, my morning routine. But I am a journaler, so I like to wake up. I build a fire because I'm always awake before Jason because for some reason he sleeps late. I don't understand what's happened, but we like role reversed. But anyway, so I make the fire in the morning and I do not drink coffee anymore, but I do drink a little yerba mate, take my supplements and all that, you know, vitamins, whatever else goes down the gullet, 2 big gigantic glasses of water. And then I just journal, and sometimes, I'm only admitting this to you guys, I don't want anyone else to know this. This is confidential. Sometimes I get distracted and scroll on social media, and I don't feel the best about myself when that happens, but it sometimes happens. And I also play Wordle and Connections every single morning, but I
very busy.
don't send my scores to anyone. It's just a personal enjoyment. So, except my mom, that is how we stay daily in touch. Anyway, that's all for now. Going to keep listening and super duper enjoying the episode. And thank you for indulging us in your morning routine. And I can't promise I'm not going to leave you another message, but I will try not to because this one was lengthy.
Emily, love hearing about your morning routine. That's
a lot of stuff. She's very busy. It's almost like she has a task list when she wakes up. But I guess we kind of all have a task list. You know, your coffee and you're checking your email and letting the cats out. That's a task list. But there seems to be some level of responsibility. Like nobody is depending on me to check my email in the first thing in the morning. It seems like if she's connecting with her mom through Wordle and Connections, I've never played either one of those games, by the way.
Well, I'm pulling up on the screen now Connections because I've heard of Wordle. I'm familiar with that. But Connections, I have never heard of. And this is pretty fucking interesting. I might actually enjoy this one.
Tell me
about.
So
to play Connections, find 4 groups of 4 words from a grid of 16 words that share a common theme. Using up to 4 mistakes with categories color-coded by difficulty. Yellow, easiest, purple, hardest. Revealing a new puzzle
coding.
daily.
Sounds like a spreadsheet. It sounds like a spreadsheet. It sounds like I don't know that I would like that game as much as I don't like Wordle. But I did like, which is really weird because I'm not a numbers guy, I did like Sudoku. Have you ever played Sudoku?
No, I'm familiar with it. I do know how to play it, but I've never played it. Now, this is interesting. This example.
Yeah.
So there's an example over here.
Yeah, let's hear the example. Tell me.
So yellow is easiest, right?
Okay, so give me the example of the words.
The 4 words are electronic, grand, player, and upright.
Piano.
Kinds of pianos, exactly.
Oh, okay. Kinds of pianos. Okay.
Kinds of pianos. Okay.
This is kind of like Jeopardy. They're giving you the answer, and you need to find the common connection between the words.
Yeah. And I thought I would like this, but already just looking at this first example, I've decided, fuck no, it's too goddamn hard. The second one is consider, count, judge, regard.
I don't know. Court terms?
Deem? D-E-E-M?
Oh, that is the answer. Deem. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, right? Okay. Brown, Duke, Howard, and Smith.
Well, I can see the answer now that you've told me where
U.S.
the answer
colleges
is,
and universities. Like, okay. That seems like that would be.
So is purple the hardest?
Yeah, but purple is the hardest. Look at this. Gamble, Johnson, Noble, and Young. Second names in companies with ampersands.
What?
How fucking random is that?
That is,
What the fuck?
It's qualifying for its category of hardest. Is that what purple is, hardest?
Yeah, purple is hardest.
Can you give me
just
another
looking
yellow?
at that one
Give
example,
me another yellow one. I just want to. I don't want to look at the answer. I just want to hear the answer. So I don't want to know what the solution is because just give me another yellow. I got to feel good about myself.
Okay, COMAMEPA.
COMA.
So this is interesting because it's basically 2-letter words. Co, ma, may, pa, or me, pa.
It sounds like it's the type of companies, professional organizations. What is it? What's the answer?
State abbreviations.
Okay, Colorado. Give me the other ones.
MA.
Maine or Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
ME.
That's Maine.
Right. PA.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
How about
Okay.
do, fa, la, ti?
Well, those are all part of the scale.
Musical notes. Exactly.
Yeah. How would somebody not know that?
Dude, you didn't know co, ma, me, pa was fucking state abbreviations.
But I have seen The Sound of Music, so that's how I know the other one for sure. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, I don't want to play that game now. How?
No, I don't either. The New York Times is too fucking smart for me. Not my thing.
Well, my ex-mother-in-law every Sunday would do the New York Times crossword puzzle, which I think it gets I think they did it daily, and then it got progressively harder through the week.
As the week goes on,
I remember.
exactly.
So Sunday was the hardest one. I looked at that crossword puzzle, and I could never get any of them, and she was like filling it out left and right.
Yeah, I get the Atlantic magazine, and it has a crossword in it, and Vera likes crosswords, and so when we get it, we'll start doing it. And the way the Atlantic crossword works is because it's only once a month. So the answers at the beginning are easiest, but as the numbers get higher, they get harder and harder.
Interesting. Well, I'm a huge fan of Highlights magazine, and I can get Goofus and Gallant every fucking time, man.
Oh no, are we ready for the second voicemail? Okay, here we go.
Hello, Doug. Hello, Strickland. It is
nice.
I, Emily A. Bourne. Again,
Yeah.
this will be my last one, but just as I was about to call and say, you know what this show needs? We need more political ranting. We need more incredulous Strickland and Doug giving his opinion on the news.
Okay, I'm pausing for a minute because I came to last week's show and I had a couple of notes about things that were political, right?
Right.
And I avoided them until the very end because it's like I knew I would rant. And I remember I fucking ranted last week. I mean, it wasn't super long, but it was pretty incredulous.
Well, I planted the seed early in this episode. I wanted to see if I could get incredulous Strick out, but I didn't want to really goad you into doing it. You stayed calm. I got to hand it to you. You really did stay calm. And then we went right to The Simpsons, which made it kind of diffuse the whole situation a little bit. So,
exactly. Okay, Emily, sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Emily.
Please continue.
You guys go off on this just beautiful, beautiful rant about the quote unquote imminent danger. So I was pleased by that. And I also wanted to hear your thoughts on, I'm pretty embedded into this story. I am an Anthropic. I don't use it a ton, but if I use AI, I use Anthropic, not OpenAI. But anyway, I was so fascinated by this. I was impressed with Anthropic saying no to them for the request of autonomous weapons. And they basically said, like, we're not ready. We don't know what these are going to do. They may kill people that we don't intend them to kill. So they had, like, very good reasons for saying no to these terms and conditions that they were posing. And then they turn around and say, well, fine. If you're going to do that, we're going to say that you, Anthropic, are a threat to the country and national security, and basically take your company down. Now, I am just baffled. I'm not baffled at this point, but the fact that we live in a country right now where the government is taking down private companies because they said no to a deal with them. I'm like, you got your deal. You got your deal from somebody else. Leave them alone. I don't understand. So anyway, it's just like, what is it? Eye for an eye, I guess. Don't cross them or else. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that. If you both are aware of it. I asked Strickland and he seemed to be aware. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that and whatever else you got. I mean, this is Friday, March 6th. So by the time you hear this, there's going to be like 90 new topics. Okay, that's all for now. But I just want to say thank you for the the refreshing political rant because I missed that. And I was about to call and say that it should be, oh my God, this is so long. Okay, bye.
It's a double-edged sword.
We're like psychic or psycho or something because we knew she was going to ask about that.
It's a double-edged sword. Do we let Anthropic or does Anthropic release the information so that the government can do what they want to in terms of surveillance and autonomous weaponry, or do they hold back? Now, holding back just is going to force the government to go to another company, which is going to do it anyway. So are you a part of the deal or do you not want to be a part of the deal? And it's a slippery slope. Really
I don't know. That's tough to say because I think it was just yesterday, 1,000 employees of OpenAI, including like the executive team, signed a letter to like Pete Hegseth and the administration to say,
don't come
this
knocking on
is
our door.
bullshit. They said, don't do this to Anthropic. So basically it's their competition saying they're right. Don't fucking do that. Like they don't have any vested interest in protecting Anthropic, but they're like, dude, you guys are doing the wrong fucking thing. You need to back off. But nothing surprises me with this administration anymore. That what I'm waiting for is somebody somewhere has got to have like a fucking video of Trump and the shit that he did on Epstein Island. And if that can come out and we can like prove that it's real, like that's what we need because nothing else seems to affect Republicans. They're like, we're going to go bomb the fuck out of some other country. And they're like, okay, fine.
Is the Department
we got no money for education. We got no money to make the economy better, but we got lots of money to bomb the fuck out of everybody.
So if Anthropic gives them whatever they want, it doesn't mean necessarily, now look, I'm going to say this tongue in cheek because I think I know the response that you're going to provide, but just because Anthropic says you have no limitations does not necessarily mean that they're going to surveil the citizens of the United States, nor create autonomous weapons. They just don't want the cap put on the limitation put on the agreement. Is that right?
Okay, let me put this a different way to you, Doug. Let's say that I walk into a gun store and I say, I would like to buy a gun. And the guy at the gun store says to me, no problem. You are allowed to buy a gun, but you cannot ever shoot another person. You can't shoot another human being. You're not allowed. You can shoot anything else you want. You are not allowed to shoot a human being. And I say to the gun owner, nope. I don't want to buy the gun because I want the freedom to shoot whatever or whoever I want.
Right.
Why would I tell the gun owner that if I had no plans on shooting somebody?
Well,
why would I hold? That's Pete Hegseth and Trump want to fucking surveil everybody and they don't give a fuck. And that's why they want the goddamn barriers dropped.
Let's go the other way for just a quick second. What if Pete Hegseth said to Anthropic, okay, we agree. We are not going to surveil anybody in the United States and we're not going to create autonomous weaponry. And they get into the relationship and a little bit further down the line. Okay, let's just start there. What if they just say that Would Anthropic be, okay, cool, just sign this piece of paper. Then the government signs the piece of paper and they say, we're not going to use it for these purposes. Then they fucking ignore it anyway. Don't they ignore everything anyway? So why not just have the relationship, get the stuff that they want, and then just work the plan as they want to?
So I don't know the specifics about how AI
standing
works.
on ceremony now.
Well, the thing is, I don't know the specifics of how AI works like that. But my understanding is that Anthropic has built in these guardrails, right? So basically, if Pete Hegseth and the administration say we're going to do this, basically it wouldn't be possible. I think that's my understanding, right? So like if Pete Hegseth said, okay, we're going to create this weapon and it is 100% controlled by AI, it needs no human interaction at all. I think there's something built into the Anthropic engine that basically would say, no, you can't do that. And so that's my understanding. That if they wanted to do that, they would actually have to hack into Anthropic somehow. And it's kind of like when you tried to steal cable in the 80s, right? You get that little box and it's illegal, but hey, everybody's doing it, right? And the only reason you could do it is because you knew some tech nerd that knew how to fucking hack the shit.
Okay. All right. It makes sense. I agree. I mean, I'm on Anthropic's side. I would never give free rein to my software, no matter the financial reward that would be attached to it, because I think that there's a financial reward that's attached to being the good guy. You know, it's like, oh, cool. There's a company that actually has a little bit of a conscience. Maybe we should use them, like, look at all the press, not saying that they did it for the press, but look at all the press that Anthropic is getting for being the good guy in this particular case. They're even getting their competition to say, don't do this. Just go find somebody else to do it. Like, don't you think that the government is just going to go out and find somebody that will give them what they want?
Sure. But right now, there are only so many AI companies out there that have the knowledge of Anthropic or OpenAI or Claude. But now Elon Musk has got his, and that's what he's doing. He's basically saying no fucking restrictions. So I don't know why they haven't just talked to Elon and used his, but maybe his isn't good enough yet.
Well, he's still paying some of the back bills on Doge right now, so he's having a hard time. He's got maybe there's a little sour taste in that. Maybe he's just threw up a little in his own throat when he heard about, the government wants my help again. Ever since he got canned or he left, I haven't heard his name mentioned by anybody in the administration.
No, I haven't either. Although it's funny, did you the one thing I forgot about, Iran, apparently they painted helicopters on these big open parking lots. And apparently they bought inflatable tanks, from some Chinese company that are life-size inflatable tanks. Right. Because when the satellites see them, they don't know that they're not real. So you basically put, 10 fucking inflatable tanks all together in one place that costs you maybe $1,000, right? And then we drop a $5 million Tomahawk there, and we've just burned a $5 million for nothing. Yeah,
wait, hold on. So who created those? Whose idea was this?
I think Iran is doing it. I mean, obviously they probably thought about it ahead of time. It wasn't like, oh shit, we're getting attacked. Maybe we better come up with something. I think they had this plan all along, which is pretty fucking smart.
Okay, how much is a Tomahawk missile? I gotta know.
$3 to $5 million or something.
How much that oh my God, 1.3 to 2.5 million per missile.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
So, because the other thing that Iran is doing, they've got these drones, and apparently the drones cost anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 each, right? And so when we attacked them, they put hundreds of drones over to Israel. Now, Israel's got their Iron Dome, right?
Right.
And so apparently most of the Iron Dome missiles and a whole bunch of U.S. Tomahawk missiles shot down most of these drones, right? a few of them got through. But here's the thing. What people are thinking that Iran's plan is that these drones are cheap and relatively easy to build.
And they're building hundreds, if not thousands, of them. So
Exactly.
they're gonna run Israel out of their dome missiles.
And right, so one drone that costs up to $50,000, right? One Tomahawk missile that costs $3 million to shoot it down. Sometimes you need 2 or 3 because the first one misses. So you get one of those fucking drones and it costs us 2 or 3 Tomahawk missiles every time. We're going to run out of fucking missiles pretty quick. And then they're just going to keep.
All I remember is this is a handful of years ago in Hawaii with Michael Neely, and he bought that DJI mini drone, and he goes, "Hey, you try to fly it," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to because I'm going to crash it." And he goes, "You're not going to crash it. There's like one tree, and it's like 100 yards away. The one fucking tree. 10 seconds into my flight, I fly it right into the tree.
Yeah,
and that was $500. That hurt.
I know. You told me about that. That's pretty funny.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we did manage to take a 30-minute content-filled episode and stretch it out to an hour and 30 minutes. So
yeah, we did.
I don't know. We did it again. Strictly.
And look, there's Cookie still just fast.
Still, just in
zoom
the sun.
in. Where's my software? See, I love this little software because I can go zoom, boop. I mean, it's not a great zoom, but
it's not bad.
And Cookie's so cute. And if you're not seeing Cookie because you're listening, go to YouTube. Check it out.
This is good. But with an hour, we ask for a big time investment from our listening audience. If we're asking them to watch an episode for 60, 90 minutes in this particular, that's a lot to ask.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that because not only when you're listening, you could be listening on a walk or while you're doing other stuff.
Right.
But people like Sean Carpenter, you speed it up and you listen to it at 1.2 or 1.5 speed. So it's not even an hour. You can't really do that watching it on YouTube. Yeah.
Not only so, the advantage of listening to it is you're not destroying your bandwidth. That's first of all. And you can actually, what's it called? Dual purpose. What's it called?
Multitask.
Multitask. My mom, just so you know, and then we'll wrap up, I promise, right after this. So my mom, she's been having trouble with her iPhone. Now, I did figure out how to, using FaceTime, I didn't realize you could do this. Using FaceTime, I can get her to screen share, and I can walk her through from phone to phone to fix any problems.
Oh, that's cool.
But the challenge is that even that is not enough at this point. So my 92-year-old mom, I'm about to invest in a... what's the phone called? It's called the Jitterbug. That's it. I'm getting the Jitterbug Model 4. It has some pretty good features and it's very inexpensive. It's only like $40 a month, I think, instead of her $60 that we spend right now. And the phone is, I think I can get it for under $100 right now. It's called the Jitterbug 4. So for all of you that have seniors as parents, or maybe you have a parent that's just a little bit mentally or technologically challenged, I think this would be a good phone. So I'll let you know how it works out when we get it in-house.
So she's not going to have an iPhone. It won't be connected to her computer and her iPad and all the other stuff.
She doesn't use any of the features on, like she has the iPhone, but all she uses it for is making phone calls, text messaging, and taking photos. She doesn't check like Facebook or anything like that. So she's got like one page of apps of which she doesn't use, 90% of the things that are on there. So I think we had, the only reason she had the iPhone is because I could walk her through, problem resolution if it was problem.
You can fix it.
But now she has the support team of Jitterbug 4. It's going to be on her.
Nice.
I'll let you know how that goes.
Emily, thank you so much for calling twice. We appreciate it. We love hearing your voice, and very happy to hear that you enjoy Incredulous Strict. So, I made sure he came out a little bit.
And tell Jason it's time for him to get up and make the fires. Now, we are heading into summer, so I'm assuming the fire needs are going to slowly subside, just maybe a little bit. I know you're in cold Northeast. So anyway, let's head out of here till next week. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.